What a difference a week makes, eh? I mean, unbelievable week for West Ham, considering the fact we were going into this week we just had, off the back of some terrible performances and a really bad run of form where we'd seen, winless in 8 games, and the performances were just looking so drab and the teams look like they've given up. Suddenly there's a life breathed back into our season. Of course, we got the excellent win over Brentford, and then yesterday with that result against Everton. We're going to talk about it in a minute. Before I get into actually the game, I want to talk about a couple of things first. We're doing our giveaway for West Ham Top. Actually, the video is going to go out tomorrow, so just keep your eyes peeled. But basically, all you need to do is be a subscriber, and we're going to give away a West Ham Top, home, away, or third. It'll be any size you want. All you need to do is click subscribe. So if you're not subscribed, please do that and look out for the video tomorrow. So we're going to do the video tomorrow and announce the winner on Friday. So do keep your eyes peeled for that one. Also, correct scores. So yesterday we had 2 winners, actually. We're going to pick out 2. The reason we're picking out 2, usually we pick out 1, but because it's been a few weeks since anyone's won, we thought we'd pick out the 2 the people that got it right. So that's Daniel Danso and Yorkshire Panda. So basically what we've done, we dropped you a message on YouTube. So if you haven't seen it, just go and check that out and then drop us an email and we'll get you a gift from our shop sent over to you. Let's talk about the game. Look, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't the best performance by West Ham by any means. It wasn't like we played Everton off the pitch and anything like that. In fact, it was far from it, actually, I felt at times. I wouldn't go as far as saying, some people were suggesting that we played awful and we nicked it. I don't think we played awful. I think there was a spell we weren't very good. But if we start from the beginning, the first half, I thought we were in the game. I thought we were in it. I don't think we were playing particularly badly. I just think we were lacking an outlet to the likes of Bowen and Goodison. I thought Paqueta was struggling, actually, although he's still very influential and he's still playing some lovely balls when required. He was struggling to make his usual impact in the game. I think you can kind of see from Paqueta, although he's still, as I say, wonderfully gifted and so important to our side, you can see he's a player that's been out for a couple of months a little bit. He looked quite leggy, which is totally understandable. But in that first half, our midfield were not winning the battles that were needed. We just weren't getting the balls where we needed to get to. But ultimately, I still felt we were in the game. It was one of them when I was watching it, I was thinking, you know what, we will regret if we don't get the result here. We will regret the 3 points because Everton, as much as they huffed and puffed in that game, and trust me, they did. I mean, I will come to their positive spells as well. I think they'll feel quite aggrieved that they didn't get something from that game. They do lack quality. They really do. And it was one of them that you thought if we could just up our game, we can punish them. But the first half, I thought, was a pretty even contest overall. I thought West Ham was showing that we were in it a little bit. Everton were in it too. But then, of course, they had their penalty. It was a handball for Zuma. I think it was on the 42nd minute. So obviously leading up to half time. At the time when I first saw it, I thought I was quite annoyed. I thought that it was harsh on West Ham. I've had time to reflect on it, watch Match of the Day back again, and kind of have a proper review of it. I do think actually it's probably the right call. Just. I mean, it was a little bit harsh considering the fact it was quite close to him. They sort of hit the ball quite up. But if you do look at it again, he does lift his arm. It was slightly in an unnatural position, you could argue. So all I always think of is if that was the other way round, if that was for West Ham, would I have expected a penalty? Yes. And that's how I have to go with it. So it was one of those, it was given, much like yourselves, when the penalty was given, you just think, oh, here we go, right on half time. It's been a nightmare time to concede. They'll be really up for it. Then we've got a mountain to climb. But Areola with a fantastic penalty save. And it was a good save. Sometimes with penalty saves, you go, yeah, he saved it, but it was a bit of a poor penalty. That was a good penalty. He hit it low and hard into the bottom right corner. Obviously, Areola's left. He's got down well. They love that VAR, don't they? They desperate to chalk goals or to try and overturn things. I mean, we're going to check it. It looks like he went off his line. Never come off his line at all. But no, so it was fine. They did check it. It was fine. And then that was the moment, I think, in the game where you think this could be our day. This could be our day. We might be able to go and nick this, because this is a good sign now. So we're going at half-time level. I'm expecting a West Ham second half where we're going to come out, much like we did for the Brentford game. We just start on the front foot because let's go for it. Let's go and win this. I was imagining that was David Moyes' plan. But actually, it didn't appear to be. It actually was the opposite. We came out and we were so lethargic, so slow, lacking belief, lacking creativity, everything. It was just really flat, and it just elevated Everton. It gave them their belief. You could hear the crowd start getting behind them, and then it was back to the wall for West Ham. And I'll be honest, then after about sort of 5-10 minutes of the second half, I'm thinking to myself, I'll be happy with a draw. Let's sneak a point and get out of here, you know. But they scored. It was just 10 minutes into the second half. Beto, who missed the penalty for Everton, scores. I've got to say, a very good goal, very good header. You could argue West Ham not the best of defending, but I think the cross was pinpoint. It really was top draw. It was a beautiful ball swung in, and so Beto just headed it beyond Areola. Nothing the goalkeeper could do. Let's get this straight. Areola was amazing yesterday. He was amazing. He was absolutely I don't think there was many at fault for that goal. You could possibly argue Mavropanos could have dropped a little bit deeper to deal with it, but I just say it was one of them that it was hard to blame West Ham for, really. It was just a very good cross, very good goal. And we're 1-0 down, you know, and at that point you're thinking, here we go. This is not going to be good because we've just beaten Brentford. We need to get a result here, at least a draw. Let's get a point, get away, and then we can go to let's beat Burnley. I'm just focused on the Premier League at the moment. And obviously Everton scored. You know the feeling. It sucks the life out of you, doesn't it? You think, oh God, are we going to get back in this? Are we going to get back in it? But we did, and we not only did we get back in it, we got back in it like 3 or 4 minutes later. It was really quick response from West Ham, very good actually, and it was a little bit out of nowhere. I'll be honest. First of all, played pretty decent football in the middle. I think it was Paqueta laid it into Mohamed Kudus. He sort of cut inside and fired a shot, and it's taken a deflection and gone out for a corner. And you could hear, you know, the West Ham fans getting up for it. You think, come on, let's try and get something. And we did. It was an out-swinging corner from James Ward-Prowse, again, for another assist for him. And he swings it in. And lovely header from Kurt Zouma. Unbelievable. Sort of made up for that handball. And he flicked it into the top right-hand corner of the goal. Lovely goal. And I believed them. I got to admit, once that goal went in, I thought we can win this. We can win this. But I've got to say though, I will say this. I thought Everton were excellent at that point. I think it became a bit like a bit of a gung ho game after that, wasn't it? It was all there was a lot of drama. It was very one way and the other, a bit like a basketball game, back and forth. But I thought we handled it well. I thought that we were in it. We were in that game, and you kept thinking, if we can just keep our composure, we can just nick this. But Everton, to be fair to them, were throwing everything at West Ham. They needed that, probably more than we do. Let's be honest. They are in peril at the moment down the bottom of that league, and they need a result. And they were throwing everything. And Areola, I mean, he pulled off some amazing saves. And also Thomas Soucek, who I actually thought was average at best for the vast majority of the game, but the second half I think he improved. But he was there when it mattered, because he had 2 goal line clearances that was so important, because had Everton scored, you know, it would have been very hard to see us come back into that again, because they were really going for it. But no, we were defending very, very well, and then we go and nick it at the death. You know, it comes to the end of the game. There's 5 minutes to go. I've got to be honest. I said this on the short yesterday. Got to that period, 5 minutes. I'm settling for the point. I'm in my mind. I've settled for the point. I'm gearing up to do these reviews and gearing up to do the writing for the website, all these sort of things. And I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? It's not the end of the world. I'm looking at the league table, thinking what a point would mean, and all these things. You know, I'm really of the belief that this is the way it's going to settle down, and it'll probably suit both teams in a weird way. I thought, you know, maybe we can accept a point and move on, but no, we go and nick it. And unbelievable goal. I don't know where it came from, how it was. I mean, it really was. It's stunned. I think even the most diehard Soucek fans would say, I didn't realise he was capable of that, because that was a stunning goal from Thomas Soucek. So Mohamed Kudus goes out onto the left-hand side, swings in a cross. It's quite deep, actually. It's not the best of crosses. Goes back over to Soucek, and who chests the ball down, and he just hits the ball with the outside of his right boot, and it just bends beautifully beyond Pickford into the bottom, the top corner. It's just unbelievable. This is obviously now the 91st minute of the game. I think there's 5 minutes been added on, so 4 minutes to go. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe we'd done it. And you know, it's game one. Then it was the life out of Everton. The crowd was weird to stay. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I found the atmosphere very surprising. I would expect him. a raucous Everton fan because of the points that have come back. I thought that would breathe belief back into that club. I think it's quite clear that because of this second charge that's hanging over Everton, it's just they're not able to move forward. And I get it. I really get it. And I sensed it yesterday that they are a fan base that are on knife edge all the time. They feel that it was an anxious atmosphere. And I no doubt that Soucek goal was it ripped the heart out of them. It must have been awful for them because, as I say, they were the more aggressive side. They were the one really, really going for it. And West Ham, I think, it worked to T. We were going to play counter. That's what David Moyes was going to do. I'm going to try and get him on a sucker punch and nick it, and it worked. And fair play to David Moyes because, I've been one of his biggest critics on here at times. I try and give just a balanced view, as best I can and see it as I see it. And when we've been bad, I'll criticise. When we've been good, I'll praise him. As I say, I don't think yesterday you wouldn't come away and go, "Wow, what a masterclass that was from Moyes." It was amazing. I would not say that, but credit to him in regards to the changes he made during that second half. Because the first period of that second half, we were really poor. And let's get it straight, right? David Moyes did not just sit there and accept that, which is usually sometimes what he does. He's so stubborn at times. We moan about it, go, he won't change. He actually kept trying to tinker with it and changed it. And I actually think that the changes he made. They worked. They really worked. He put Paqueta in a more central role, which it makes such a difference. To have him in that position really does work. And a fair play to him was good. Got it spot on, as I say. And I think he was going to accept the fact that we're going to absorb this pressure from Everton, who were trying to nick the game. And you can understand it. They needed the points because a win for Everton would have been so big, especially considering the fact that Luton lost as well. But no, we went and nicked it with Thomas Soucek with that goal. And then we go and do it again just to rub salt in the wound. And I'm sorry to smile like that because I'm a West Ham fan. What can you do? Do you know what I mean? I'm going to be happy about it. Wonderful counter-attack from West Ham. Come from a corner from Everton. They lose possession. Jared Bowen goes on this run. And you just suddenly see Alvarez. I mean, I never... This is the guy that always looks half dead from sort of like the sort of 80th minute onwards. He looks tired because he works so bloody hard. He is so important to this West Ham side. So important. And he just goes galloping up the pitch. And bearing in mind, Bowen's pretty quick when he's on the ball. So he's running with the ball. But there goes Alvarez. And he's waiting. And the timing from Bowen. I mean, I don't think that gets spoken about enough as well. The way that they work that time and the way that Alvarez is just like, go on, give it to me. And he's just passed it at the literally the inch perfect moment. Just laid it off. And Alvarez just, in the first touch, just flicks it over Pickford to make it 3-1. 3 points back to West Ham. Delighted. I mean, really, I'm so pleased for those that went because I went to Everton with my dad and we watched the game when Payet got that winner 3-2. We were 2-0 down and we came back. I think Everton missed a penalty as well in that one, actually, funny for Lukaku. And amazing day out. I would go as far as say my favourite ever away day performance. It was just brilliant. Do you know what I mean? In terms of a league game. Do you know what I mean? Really, really enjoyed it. And so I'm really pleased for the West Ham fans that went, and obviously everyone. I'm pleased for all of us. So, I mean, we're all happy, aren't we? It's a really good day. And before I can go on to talk about a little bit something that game, I think we have to talk about Areola because he's going to get the pat on the back for that, and he deserves it. He was absolutely excellent. Having a top goalkeeper makes such a big difference. It really makes that advantage, isn't it? It gives you that advantage when you've got a goalkeeper there. I'm starting to have trust in Areola now. Do you know what I mean? Like at the beginning of the season, I was always a bit I'm not sure. And don't get me wrong, he still can improve on certain things. But David Moyes even alluded to that in his press conference. But ultimately, he's been really good, and he must be feeling on top of the world now. And it just feels like things are starting to click at just the right time, the perfect time for West Ham. It really is, because we have got such a crucial few weeks now. Because this season's coming towards its end. Do you know what I mean? We've not got long to go. We've got effectively, a quarter of the season to go, just over. But we've got Europe this week. We go away to Freiburg, which is going to be a tough game. They've just drawn with Bayern Munich, which is dented their title hopes pretty much. I think they're pretty much out of that now. Good old Harry Kane. One word. But yeah, so they drew with Bayern Munich. So they'll be buoyant. They're going to be up for it. But we've beaten them twice, so I'm going into this bit of confidence. But I'll tell you what, West Ham, it just feels like I'm not going to start pretending. I'm not going to start jumping on this bandwagon of going, right, well, that everything's brilliant. That's, and talk about David Moyes' future. I don't want to be doing that. Let's just put a pin in all of that sort of stuff now. Let's just focus on this season and this season alone. We've got 11 Premier League games to go. And next game before the final 10 will be Burnley at home. A very winnable fixture, you would find. I mean, all Premier League games are tough. No games are easy, but Burnley at home is a game we should be winning. You know, no disrespect to them, that we should be winning that game. And we just seem to be getting into that groove, that form. Our name is now, you know, back in it. Back in that mix for the European hunt. I'm not saying it was completely out of it, but the way that we were playing, the way we were performing for the first couple of months of this year, you could just see us slipping away, and the other teams were just going to keep picking up points, and we were going to start getting left behind. But we've managed to turn it. You know, 2 wins on the spin's big, and we can make it 3, as I say, with Burnley at home, and then that is sandwiched in between our European, last 16 to get into the quarterfinal. And we've got Freiburg, obviously, away on Thursday. Then we've got the return leg the following week. This is a big period. These next 2 weeks are really big, because if West Ham can get that done, get to the quarterfinals, there will actually be that, because you get that. Well, I think once you hear the word final, quarterfinal, semi-final, you start to think, oh my God, you can start seeing the trophy. Do you know what I mean? It starts to become a little bit more real. Like, you're like, oh, you never know. You never know. And that would be amazing. And on top of that, if we can then, as I say, beat Burnley, we are really in a good position. We are in a really strong position. I looked at it today. I was trying to work out the points and, you know, what will be needed. What do we need to do? And I'm a bit like that. You know what I mean? I don't like to get ahead of myself. But I think if West Ham can get to 60 points this season, I think that will get us European football. And to get 60 points, if you look at our fixtures, basically we need to get the results against the teams that we should get results against, which I think as West Ham, ultimately, as overall, I'm talking about David Moyes' team for the last few years, we tend to do that. The games that we should win, we do tend to get over the line. And then we're going to need, I've worked out, one sort of result against a bigger side, one that's going to be really tough, a Newcastle or a Villa or something like that. And we've got to beat one of these sides, beat them. And if we can beat them, then I think we'll be in a really, really strong position, and we could be getting European football next season. I mean, it's been I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves at the moment, but it's a good week. It's a week that's breathed some belief and hope back into this season. And you can feel it. I think the fans are feeling it. The players are like they're enjoying it as well. No, brilliant day. Really, really happy. And it just gives us a little bit of hope now going in for this next couple of weeks, because it is big. And if we get it right, then my word, we could be in for a really exciting end to this season.